the misclassification of independent contractors. And that's not uncommon. You have small businesses who start out, they simply don't know the laws like we do. They heard from a friend, we'll just hire them as a contractor and you just pay them. You don't have to worry about anything else. And Joey, I mean, I think we hear this almost every week from a client or a prospect.
Hmm.
It's so common and we help them get it straight. But I mean, how many times have you heard that come up in conversations with prospects or clients over the years?
I've heard it from clients, I've heard it from prospects, I've heard it out in the wild on places like social media where people are talking about running business. It's a hiccup that people um, miscalculate or make missteps on because
Yeah.
they don't know things like the federal test of whether or not someone's an independent contractor or not. And then, a state that you would know better than I do, but even in California, right? What are the rights and allowances that an independent contractor has that you may think are only reserved for an employee? And so you've got to know if someone is a independent contractor and can you justify that? Not even just kind of can you justify it because you want to put a circle into a square peg, but it's really if the government were to knock on your door and say, hey, can you explain the duties of this person and how they're an independent contractor? And oh, you tell them how to do this and they have to come to you for approval for this or so there's a lot to determining if someone's an independent contractor or not. And it's not just, oh, it's easier to pay them as a contractor.
It's a super sticky area. And I think you've mentioned some of the key takeaways here, which is to understand that there's a federal test. Some states have their own tests. And something that's come up much more recently is that countries have their own tests. So, kind of a bonus on the same question is, oh, my team member is moving, to, we'll just say like Germany or some other international destination. We're going to take them off payroll. We're just going to pay them as a contractor. And it's like, okay, red flag time, because just because they're international doesn't relieve you of your obligations. Very similar to states, countries have their own criteria. So unless you're going to go out and understand that country specific contractor criteria, I would hesitate before hiring them in the same capacity that they were working as an employee.